Hello guys, and welcome to this tutorial on simple buttons. In this video I'm going to be turning this cube into a button which will toggle this chair on and off. In order to do so, we select our cube/button and add a Udon behavior component. Next we go into our assets and create a scripts folder in which we right click, select create, VRChat, and in Udon we select the Udon graph program asset. If you are familiar with C#, you can use the assembly to create your program, but for other people it might be easier to use the graph program asset. We'll name it toggle, as we'll be toggling the chair in and out of existence, and it's a rather generic name because we can use this one script for any object. We select Open Udon Graph to open our programming environment. In case you hit this error where the autocompile goes into negative, try restarting the Unity Hub. After restarting Unity Hub, the issues should be resolved and manual compile should be here. Click it a couple of times just to make sure that it is working. Now that we can compile, we want to add a node and select Event Interact, because we want to start our program once we interact with our button. Next, we want to say what object we want to do something with. This will be the game object, and this is the target of our script, which is a public target, because we are gonna use this object and it's gonna come from another place, not from within the program itself. What are we gonna do with it? We are gonna change its state, so we're gonna set the game object its active state. Now we can already connect the interact with the set active, as this is the flow of our program. After we interact with it, we're gonna set its state. Now it doesn't know what object it is yet, because we said that we're going to do something with the target, but it doesn't know what we're going to do with this object. So we'll want to get variable. By default now this target is selected. However, if you're working with multiple objects, you can choose the ones that you want to use in this drop-down list. We can connect this object with our instance, as it will be the instance that we're going to be manipulating. Next up, we want to get the variable again, because, well, we've said when we're going to do it and what we're going to be changing, but it doesn't have the value yet that's going to have to be changed. So from our variable, we're going to want to get its current active state. In order to do so, we're going to select get active in hierarchy. This is going to get the active state in our hierarchy over here. If we were to connect it right now, it would just keep it the same, as well. It's going to get the variable, going to get its active state, and going to say it's true or false. And here we're just going to set the active state to true or false. So I want to invert this. To do that, we're going to take a unary negation. And as I just said, we have a boolean. So our boolean is going to go into the negation, and the opposite value is coming out, and it's going into our set active. We're going to compile this, select a couple of times. Then we go to scene. With our program complete, we can go to our scene. We select our cube/button, and we simply drag our toggle command into the program source. Now the target, if we just leave it on self, it would simply hide the cube, and well, that would be all and not really useful. So instead, I'm gonna select the chair. Now I know it's this one. So in the cube, we're gonna drag the chair as our target. I save, and then in our VRChat SDK menu, go to Builder and Build and Test. As you can see, it didn't load in. Now this can be two things. Either it didn't compile, or the script didn't get updated into the object. There's an easy fix to this. First, let's get out of VRChat. The first fix is the simplest one. We're gonna check our graph. Graph seems to be fine, but I'll compile it again a couple of times. But that doesn't seem to be the issue. Instead, it might be this one not entirely being updated here yet. To assure this, you can select it and press Ctrl D to duplicate it. Then we remove the original one, delete it, and we'll rename the new one, the copy, to the original name. Now we'll have to drag this one in here again. And as you can see, the target has been remembered. If you now save, Ctrl S as a shortcut, build and test again. Now we can see that we actually can interact with it and will toggle the chair in and out of existence. You might notice that the cube is a bit bigger. Well, it turns out that the pole of our umbrellas They have bigger hitbox than I expected, resulting in me only being able to use like the bottom corner here instead of the entire cube. But normally you can use the entire object. So that's just bad design by me. Now as you can see, there's the use text, and you might want to have something different there in order to be able to indicate what you're going to be toggling. To do so, go back to your Unity hub, click on your toggle, and in the inspector select right click, go to debug, and here under Udon behavior script you can see interact text use. I'm going to change that to toggle middle chair, and trust me, this will change the text in game. I could show it again, but I'll leave that to you for experimentation. Anyway guys, that was all for this video. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comments. I hope it was useful. See ya in the next one.